Today it is 37 degrees in Florida. It's cold out here, and I decided that I would like to make a video to talk about school. I am almost done with my master's degree. I started at the beginning of this year, and I am almost done with a master's in psychology. And this is what I see since I've been in there. I've learned to be a little bit more patient and understand behavior and emotions of others. Also learned a little bit about mental illness, and statistically speaking, there's a lot of people that have drug addiction and alcohol addiction in the younger generations, and it can lead to crime like DUIs and thievery and violence, domestic violence. And I have come to terms with the first part of my school was I was making straight A's, and then I got to recently where I had a teacher that was a doctor. She had already gotten her PhD, and she ended up giving me a B, but I found out in this last class that the way I describe things in a paper, a research paper, because I have to do a lot of research papers in this, the way that I describe things is not the same way that a teacher, like a PhD teacher, would want to read it. So it's like, do I call this teacher and find out how she speaks, find out how she talks to people, or do I just accept the fact that I'm really not cut out for that? Not cut out for working with people and describing their mental illness or counseling them in that way. I can help them out if they ask for advice, but it's not going to make me an expert at anything, because you have so many people, or we have so many people that are they think differently, and they want it to be technical, they want it to be statistical. The bachelor's degree, I passed it. I got a 4-year degree, and I made a decent GPA, and this one I'm going to make a decent GPA. 3.84 isn't that bad. It's close to a 4.0, and I'm 49. So my next step can be, because I've already enrolled in another master's degree in criminal justice and security, and it kind of makes me feel like I'm in my own category of people, because school is definitely a requirement for some jobs, but I'm in the same job that I was when I'm in the same pay category that I was when I started. And I do have a little bit more benefits and stuff, but I see that in some companies, people get raised up from seniority for being in the company for longer than the people that start out. So since I'm in my older years and I am in this company, and you have to have a lot of experience to get into $60,000, $100,000 jobs. So I'm starting to see in this economy that I'm having to cut costs from groceries and things because it's expensive, and it's kind of keeping me in the same place. So in the American dream, where we want a house and we want the the things, the furniture, the beautiful environment. Sometimes it's just like there has to be a blessing of divine providence to get there in the Generation X category. If I could talk to people my age, well, I have. What am I saying? I have. I've noticed that with my past and my upbringing and the things that have happened to me in my life, it's made me different than the people that didn't go through what I went through. They may have had an abusive relationship, but they have better money supply. They have their own homes. They can travel if they want to, and they can go out to eat if they want to. I went through a little bit of a setback with the person that helps me out. They got really ill, and they had to go to the hospital and have something removed, and it put the household back several months. So everything that I had saved is gone. School has been a necessity because of the help from financial aid, just a little bit of extra for the courses. And you got to keep your grades up. You can't just go to school and, do what you want to and flunk, because the financial aid will get taken away from you if you do not keep your grade average up. So you've got to work hard in it. And working full time, going to school, doing house chores, balancing my life like that, I've found that in this inflation at the end of this year, I haven't had to really seek too much assistance, but we have had to go to the food bank, and it's put a hindrance on going to do special stuff like going bowling or going to the beach or doing fun stuff, but kept me home, working on my papers, working on my schoolwork. I'm almost done. I'm excited to finish my master's. I have one more week to go, and I'm excited, but I do realize that if I go back into this next class, I'm going to have some of the same problems with it, because some people are just really technical. They want statistics like crazy. You can have the word amount, perfect grammar, and all that stuff, and they will bump your grade down just because it's not matching exactly what is in their mind. Their expectations is different than your expectations, and they're making more money than you. They're more prestigious than you, and that's me saying that they're making more money than me. They're more prestigious than me. They talk to more people than me, because the only time I really get more than a few sentences out is if I'm talking to my roommate or if I'm doing these camera things, because I'm very quiet and I don't have any friends. I mean, I have acquaintances at work, but I don't have friends. People don't call me all the time. So my point being, it's like, if I don't talk about this and leave a record for myself to say, this is what I went through, and I made it. The past is the past, but what do I do with this? Am I going to help somebody? Am I going to make a difference? Or am I just doing it for myself to survive this place for, a little while? Because I know everybody's going to kind of die one day, but we'll see. I'm optimistic that my future may be better since I did accomplish some things. Thinking about writing some more, but it's like, is anybody going to read what I write? Am I gonna be able to connect with people? Am I going to be able to have followers, have people that will subscribe? I don't know, because is it important to have friends? I guess. It's important to have people around you that help you, because we wouldn't be able to do it without them. In democracy, we have to work for a living. We have to supply and demand, we need to eat, and it helps, because back in the day, I'm sure the farms and stuff like that, they had to take care of their own, and if they were able to sell some things to their neighbors, they would, to make their payments or whatever they had to do. But in the days that we live in now, with all the people on this earth, we have to do this kind of stuff to help each other and make a living. So I just wanted to talk about this just for a few minutes and put it out there, because maybe I'll look back on it one day after I've done something else and see the importance of my life, because this is my YouTube channel, is like my legacy. It helps me speak, because I know that that's important for the brain. We're supposed to be able to speak words and not be mute. If people are mute, I'm sure they're still with God, doing what they do in their minds. But I just think that it's important to practice speaking sometimes, and maybe some changes will come in, and I'll feel good about myself when I watch these videos. Have a good day.